Good afternoon, good evening, konnichiwa. Welcome to another episode of Let the Madness Begin. William Coleman, Marshawn Taylor.
And it's Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, bitches. That's actually how you end it. Nobody knew that, but I figured that out because it's a song. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know there's a song. It's a Method Man song.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Do you know what Konnichiwa means?
No, it probably means dumb black nigga for all I know.
No, I don't mean that. It's Japanese, bro. Look it up. Ignorance is never bliss, my son.
Sometimes.
And speaking of which.
All right, so we are on another episode, but this time we're doing something different.
Yeah,
but it's not different. My apologies. It's not different. It's sports on this show.
A sports talk. We call this a sports talk edition if you want.
Yeah,
we did sports talk.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of things are happening. You know, Jimmy Butler is being Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets.
Kyrie Irving is on a apology tour.
Yeah.
P. Diddy got 2 underage girls fighting over him, living the black man's paradise.
What 2 young girls he got fighting over?
Young M.A. and some other girl. Both I'm under the age of 30.
Wait a minute, young M.A.?
Yeah.
When she started liking guys.
Diddy smashes, or I guess that's that frequency.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get on that. I mean, he got it, under 30. Sure, maybe we need to get on that frequency, yo.
Yeah.
We're missing the boat.
Yeah.
So let's begin with what you sent me, Mr. Kyrie Irving.
I told you it was gonna happen, didn't I? Long time ago. It's in one of our episodes, earlier episodes. And just go back on the channel and find that it's on there. You know, definitely. You know, it's one of our sports talk previous earlier. You know. Yep, I told you. Didn't he graduate from? No, he didn't graduate from Duke, but he did step on the campus to play basketball for like 3 games. Okay. Just enough to say he was on the team, wore the jersey.
So what you take from that?
I knew it. And so let's give him let's give him more for those that are not following. So in an article that was read that I sent to my Sean, pretty much your boy Kyrie Irving, the best handles in the NBA.
He is the best handle in the NBA.
I mean, not if he can't handle the role of being a leader. You can't handle the role of being the man.
Everybody.
But either way, let's continue what we're talking about. That rubbish. So he finally admits that he was wrong, that he should have took more into consideration besides demanding a trade. You know, because if he would have stuck, pretty much the same thing, you know, Kobe and Shaq said, they would have stuck together, they would have won more championships. You know, if he'd have came to LeBron in his time of he was going through things as a grown man, you know, he probably would have handled things much better. No, my dude, you did that little moment where you made supposedly one of the greatest shots in the history of the game go to your head. Because yes, if you would have hit that 3, there may have been a chance that y'all may have not won that game, but you did. And you forgot, though, after you made that shot, the greatest play ever made was the block by LeBron James. So let's keep that in mind. So, yeah, back to that. So he's now pretty much in remorse about the way he went about things. You know, because I think between the thing at Boston and what's going on in Brooklyn, I think it's the reality is probably putting the foot in his ass.
Okay.
What you think? Come on, speaker for Kyrie, the Duke alumni.
Actually, you know what? And I thought about this.
Did I tell you this was going to happen?
I mean, it was.
We need to go pull that episode up and revisit it.
I've thought about that, and I was like, I was going to be harsh, and I've been harsh on him.
He wanted to be the guy.
I've been harsh on him.
You realize he's not the guy. He's just the guy with the dribble.
I won't hold that against him.
We're not talking about it. He's just big too. He is kind of babyish, but go ahead and finish.
But you know what? He suffered from the black man syndrome.
What's the black man syndrome?
Just like Antonio Brown right now. See, it's something that black men we have not admitted to. We have our ego will not allow us to actually coexist with other black men. That's a fact.
Okay.
And the media will play us against each other all the time. They never play Larry Bird and Kevin McHale against each other.
But at the same time, I believe they knew their roles, though. You know what I'm saying?
But they never played them against each other. And white people don't have that same ego
Because
that we do.
Because they know how to play their position. And that's the thing. See, and that's and like we always said, we always have a problem with wanting to be the guy.
Right. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
So with Kyrie,
and you know what also issue? I think, you know what? I think your boy got in his ear too. Kobe.
No, of course. But you got to understand why. And see, this is why
He was jealous that he didn't get to go to Duke.
No,
because he wasn't going to go. He was going to go to North Carolina.
What has Kobe always said, and people don't take from, is the fact that he said he knew he could not be the man as long as Shaq was around.
Right.
That's what Kobe said. And so, in other words, he knew he had to part ways for people to take him serious.
Understandable. But on the other hand, in his case, he wasn't. He had the team for how many years before LeBron came back?
He had it for 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years. 3 years. And at that time, they had how many number one picks? Two number one picks.
Yeah. Then got Wiggins after, and then Anthony Bennett
before him. So now, one of the picks is no longer in the league. The other one is doing actually pretty well at Golden State.
Right.
And the thing about it is, like I told you, when it came between him and LeBron, it's not that LeBron did not, he knew what to do. He knew how to handle things. He knew, and that's all he wanted to do was guide your boy, and like he said, oh, well, yeah, I don't need a father figure. He wasn't trying to be your father figure, man. He was trying to be the guy to show you how to go about getting things to get, when it's your turn to take the wheel. Like I said,
but
you can navigate this thing the best way as you can.
But even in that quote, LeBron said that was disrespectful to Kyrie. And I think one thing we have to really understand is that I can mean well, but I may not verbalize it.
But I don't think it's been disrespectful to Kyrie, because
you don't. It's not about you. It's about how Kyrie took it, and I think that's the problem.
That's what's wrong. That's wrong with Kyrie now.
No, that's what's
right. What's wrong with Kyrie?
Because one thing
how many championships Kyrie won prior to even playing with LeBron?
If we hold, and this one thing I tell people, if we hold championships as the staple, then we need to remove half of
I'm about to take it, but I'm about to take it another step further. How many championships did LeBron win before he went to Miami?
LeBron's different.
Doesn't matter how different it is.
It does.
It doesn't matter. You got to understand. It doesn't matter, because why? He didn't have a path he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know what it takes. He had the ability, but he didn't have the actual thing to put him over the top to win championship. Think about it. He carried his team
I get that part.
In 2007, yes.
But
even with that,
just talk to somebody in your type of way, and that's what Kyrie's. And like I said, the problem we have in society is we want to call him weak, and that's nobody's
calling him weak.
You said that's what's his problem.
I didn't say it was weak.
Then what's the problem with him saying that? You know what? I felt disrespected.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Because that's what he ultimately. That's
disrespected about what?
He felt like that comment was disrespectful because
who felt it was disrespectful?
Kyrie.
What comment?
That LeBron James used as a kind of like, instead of saying mentor, it's more like father figure, and instead of LeBron.
When did LeBron say that?
No, what I'm saying.
That's how Kyrie took it.
Right.
Hold on. That's how he took it.
It don't matter.
Yes, it does matter, because a lot of times what you say, think about it. A lot of times that we say certain things.
When you walk down this path, because when people see this, now they're going to judge you off of this.
They can judge me how they want. You can
Because
be
like I
judgmental.
tell people, when it comes to how people take stuff, we don't have a right to tell you how you take it.
Okay, but my thing is this. See, now you done threw me off. No, let's back. Okay, so like Kyrie said at the time in that article, if you read it, he was feeling some kind of way.
Right.
Feeling some kind of way.
Right.
Kyrie made an emotional decision.
Okay.
An emotional decision. It wasn't a logical decision. It was an emotional decision. To
I
do what
never
he
said
did.
it was logical. What I said was it's how
But-
I felt.
He
Feeling.
got in his feelings because what?
But that's not a problem.
And how LeBron talked to him? How did LeBron talk to
You
him?
know what? Here's the funny
Were
part.
we in that conversation?
No, we wasn't, but we heard the outward conversation. We wasn't in the inner circle conversation. Now, one thing, this is how I tell people, and I'm gonna use relationship on this.
Use
one.
relationships, man. You should go ahead.
You break up with a girl,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, you know, you moved on, you live your life. Now all of a sudden she's criticizing you and everything, and you know, trying to bring you down and everything because you moved on, you're happy. You know why she's doing that?
Watch.
Because her life has not moved on. If Kyrie Irving had won a championship outside LeBron, we're not having this conversation. This conversation does not exist.
But-
if Kyrie would have,
but what did
if
it-
Kyrie did not,
But
That's-
what conversation did we have prior
no,
to this?
so what I'm saying is that we're not really concerned about how he left LeBron if he won a championship
Okay,
outside of LeBron.
But I'm telling you, what did I foresee was going to happen? He was not going to win the
It's
championship.
okay. I'm not.
But
I don't-
now,
it does. Honestly, winning a championship is only a 3% chance in the NBA.
of course,
So there
But-
have been great players that played. Charles Barkley don't have a ring. Carmelo don't have a ring.
they
John
played.
Stockton don't have a
They
ring.
played for championships. They played for championship.
Kyrie played for a championship and won one.
Okay,
So he's actually one step above those two if we're using rings.
that's one. But at the same time, has he led a team to a championship game?
Is that important?
It is.
Robert Horry got 7 rings.
That's Robert Orr. We ain't talk about Robert Orr.
Dennis Rodman got.
We're not talking
5.
about Dennis Rodman. We talking about Kyrie
Think
Irving.
about what I just said.
We talking about
Robert
Kyrie
Horry
Irving.
got 7
We
rings.
talking about Kyrie Irving.
Do we?
But guess what? Robert Horry knew his role when he stepped into the role on the
Not in the
team.
beginning.
Then
When he got hurt and then he learned that he graded
Robert
his shot.
Horry knew his role once he was on them teams. Dennis Rodman, they told Dennis Rodman exactly what they wanted him
And
to
he
do.
still went off the road that time.
Well, that's his behavior off the court. We talk about on the court. When it came to actually playing the game,
But what's the problem with Kyrie Irving? Because he decided to say, you know what, I want to step out the boat.
he didn't want to step off the boat.
He did.
He-
He left.
no,
he left.
According to what was put in the news around that time, he went to them and told them it was going to be him or LeBron.
Right. And Kobe did the same thing. That's
Kyrie can't even hold a light. Can't even hold Kobe sneakers.
Actually,
So,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said before, Kobe Bryant's the most overrated superstar.
even still within that,
Actually, if you really want
Kyrie Irving's a little overrated, but still,
Kyrie
still
and
can't
Kobe
hold
are the
Kobe
same.
sneakers though.
As far as
They're the same.
they're the same player.
Not the same player.
They are. They both have the same game, and they both are great complementary players to an actual bona fide star. People don't give Paul Gasol as much credit as they should.
Okay. Okay.
Just-
So back to what I'm saying. Back to what I was
I mean,
saying.
because I'm trying to ask. I'm trying to.
Go ahead.
Like Patrick Beverly right now. It's more of you're
You-
hating on Kyrie.
Hey, I'm always on him. For one, he went to do.
See?
No, I'm sorry. He stepped on the campus. I don't say he intended because he really didn't.
But what
You know.
I'm saying is that if we really just say, okay, what Kyrie did, if it would have panned out, we're not having this conversation. We're having this conversation because we feel like it didn't pan out. Has he had a bad NBA career since then? No, he hasn't had a bad.
He really hadn't had a root because if you look at it, a lot of
He's
since
been
he
hurt.
hurt,
That's-
his conditioning.
It
My-
happens.
And it's not that LeBron was trying to bully him, or that he was going to guide the young man. At the time, come on now, look, you regardless of how you may feel, like he admitted he should have sat down and had a conversation with him about how he felt,
I'm not
what was
disputing
going on with him.
that. That's part of my dispute. What I'm saying is if without one thing I respect about Kyrie right now is he's telling his truth.
Now he's telling his
Right.
truth.
But you know one thing LeBron never said is that I tried. See,
Okay.
no. See,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Kyrie-
Finish what you saying.
Kyrie
He
is
tried.
admitting that yes, I should have conversated with him.
But did Kyrie try?
No, but we're
And
saying
then it was put out that LeBron
LeBron-
reached out to
what
him.
was put out was LeBron told the Cavaliers, look at the article. He said, "Don't trade him. Just let me and him get in the room, bro. You could have been talked to Kyrie. You wasn't going to talk to Kyrie. I'm not faulting you for
How you
it.
know you want to talk to Kyrie? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You wasn't, like you said, you talking about these inward conversations.
Okay,
So my thing is
Kyrie
this.
ain't said they talked.
Kyrie said what?
He said he has not said that they talked. He didn't say that they talked.
What makes you think that LeBron has not reached out to Kyrie?
Because Kyrie would have said it. The way Kyrie is, he
You
would
know
have
they didn't put everything in the articles. I'm pretty sure we can go back and you'll find if there was some kind of communication or not between the two of them.
Because even
Or is it
think
an
about
attempt?
what Kyrie said.
It was it Kyrie's.
I
Hold on, stop.
demanded a trade.
Kyrie's the same guy that said the world was flat. And that he's a martyr, like the martyr.
Okay.
So think about it. He likes to paint himself in certain pictures and certain scenarios.
But in this
So-
situation, how's he paying himself the bag out when he's actually admitting I should have? He's not throwing it on LeBron. What I'm saying is that even in the midst, yes, he
So,
felt like
my
he's
thing
admitting
is-
that he made a bad
So
decision.
what makes you think that he didn't try LeBron did? I'm trying to figure out that where did you get the notion that he didn't try?
Because
You know what? Get Stephen A. Smith on the phone. What's my man's name? Chris.
you know what's funny?
somebody-
And
Chris
some-
Broussard. Somebody. I'm pretty sure.
No, you know what's really funny about this, and this is where we know it didn't happen because it would have been out. Brian Windhorst licks LeBron's ass. You don't think he would have?
It's called Brian Windhorst.
But he didn't drop it.
How do you know?
Because
How do you
nobody said
know?
that. No, because even in the midst of him talking about it now, he still doesn't say LeBron.
What do you mean, Sway? What does it mean, Sway?
Look, LeBron James is not the leader that we think he is. We know that. In that moment in time, LeBron James did not reach out to Kyrie. What he wanted was Kyrie to come to him. Understandable. That's what he wanted. And Kyrie didn't, and Kyrie knew that. They both was at a stalemate. We're mad at Kyrie because Kyrie left.
I'm not mad at Kyrie. I don't think he was mad at Kyrie left.
No, he was mad that Kyrie left.
How do you know he was mad at Kyrie left?
Because it's the first time someone actually stood up and said, I don't want to play with you. And it's going to be an ego thing. You got to admit to that. We can't sit up here and say
Darius Miles didn't want to play with LeBron.
and he mentioned it, LeBron, but that was a younger LeBron. Neither did Carlos Boozer. Boozer didn't want to play with LeBron.
Boozer sucks anyway.
Okay.
You want to talk about his career too? He had a solid career.
He
Just
did.
the guy who painted his hairline to come all the way up above his eyebrow.
Hey, can't help it.
He used marker. He actually used black paint, or he spray painted that.
He used the same thing LeBron used when that was sweating in the game.
That's all right. But guess what?
They go through the
But
same
guess what?
people.
Guess what? LeBron's look actually more realistic as opposed to his. he was shaping his up with a protractor.
I appreciate Kyrie because he is on a spiritual journey now, and I think he's uncovered a lot of things and a lot of things he wish he could have done differently, and that's understandable. But I'm not going to fault him and like everybody else because honestly, we are all at fault for a lot of the things that have happened in these professional people's lives because we always pin them together against each other. Even what the Jay-Z said, you're trying to play us against each other, trying to Michael and Prince us. We do that. Nobody's sitting in the NBA talking about, oh, Luka Doncic is better than another white boy. No, they're not. They never did that with Larry Bird.
He's better than a lot of white boys.
They're not doing that. They're not saying, oh, you and Tyler Hero. No. We allow them to play us against each other.
Okay.
And
Just like right now, at this moment on this stuff, you go back and forth.
no, this is conversation. No, we allow them to play us against each other, not thinking that that's poison that seeps into it.
Okay.
And then we got
I just got one thing to say.
What?
I was right. Kyrie was wrong.
It's okay.
I was right. You was wrong.
Wrong about what?
Because you disagreed with me.
About what?
In the beginning, years ago when I first said what was going to happen.
What, that Kyrie? It's not like he's out the league.
I didn't say anything about being in the league. Out the league.
Let me ask you a question, and let's honestly really look at this. If Brooklyn comes back with Kyrie Irving and a healthy Ben Simmons, and a Kevin Durant on a mission to win, and they win a championship, is Kyrie's career still bad? No.
I don't think he has a bad career at all at this moment.
So
I think he, even though, and this is the thing, I'm not talking about his career. And let's, I want to say about this, he's not going to, regardless of what happens, if he never wins another championship again, you know, he's not going to have a bad career. There's going to be some what ifs, you know, like the one of what if he would have stayed in Cleveland with LeBron, you know, or what if he'd have worked it out in Brooklyn, I mean, in Boston, you know, or what if he was able to work it out with James Harden to stay in Brooklyn, you know, a lot of what ifs. But I don't, overall, regardless of what happens between now and then, he's not going to have a bad career. Like I said, there could be some, like right now, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and didn't do. But overall, I don't think, you know, his pro career is not going to be looked upon as bad. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame? I believe he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. You know, first ballot, no. Maybe it's small. You know, I give him a small chance to be first ballot. You know, he just got to, you know, be solid from this point on. I mean, you know, you've played with some of the best players in the history of the game,
right?
You know, and this is maybe your last go around, because the next team you go to is not going to be of your choosing. It's going to be whoever's willing to take you.
True.
It might be Oklahoma City, might be New Orleans.
He's going to stay in Brooklyn.
But the next team he might end up on may not be of his own choice.
No, I
so
think he'll retire from Brooklyn.
But the next team he ends up on. But the thing is, either way, you know, I'm not wishing him to have a bad career. I just believe it was a bad thing the way you played your hand. It could have been played a lot smarter. And if LeBron didn't reach out to him, he could have played his hand a lot better as well. You know, because whoever was giving them cues, both gave him a horrible idea. You know, because in that sense, they were the perfect teammates for one another. You know, because the way he played, you know, even though Kyrie is a solid shooter, but he's a solid penetrator from the perimeter. So they kind of gave LeBron more room to move about. You know, but once you get Kyrie in a certain let's say pace for right now, you know, pretty much once he's hot, you know, pretty much you blow it wide open for LeBron to do his thing, and you really can't stop him. Then you had Kevin Love, who learned how to be the third wheel, you know, able to, you know, bust some threes and rebound and score, you know, when able. So, I mean, hey,
like I said, you know, we look at it, hindsight's 2020. It is now we could say that. And one thing I'm working on is the shoulda, coulda, woulda. I hate when Skip Bayless does that, because it's like I can't count years that people like Michael Jordan would have won 10 championships in a row.
Nah, he won 10 championships in a row.
I can't count the years he retired.
I'd give him,
if he was there, they would have won.
I'd give him maybe 8 or 9, but not 10.
But see, even that, I can't do that, because that's variables. We don't know what may happen. And even in the midst of this situation, we think that they would have won, but realistically, we don't know. But what we do know is that they pulled off a miracle in the one championship that they got together.
Right.
And Kyrie,
which is one of the greatest series probably in the history of the game.
They beat a historical team.
Yeah.
And the one thing that
it did something that was better, never done in any kind of sport, I recall. Coming down. Yeah.
And so they have that. And yes, everybody could have done things differently, but I'm proud of the fact that, you know what, he owned it. Whether or not,
but now he owns it. Now the thing is, will he own what happened in Boston? Because that's
as well. I mean, he's on his.
That's one part of his role. Yeah. He's got to own Boston too.
Right. And then what happens?
Nothing. Because and people don't understand, it's things like that when we come to things like the Hall of Fame, when people talk about when they, because for instance, look at what's they say career, Randy Moss, probably one of the greatest receivers in the history of the game, right?
Third greatest, but yeah.
We not talk statistically, my Sean.
We just leave facts out. Okay, I'm listening.
I take Randy Moss over T.O. any old day.
I don't matter who you take. We just
any
leave
day,
stats out.
any day, or Megatron. Either who would you pick?
Of course, it's gonna be Terrell Owens. If Jerry Rice is number
you
one,
you the same guy.
It gotta be Terrell Owens.
You just want to have his baby so bad, don't you? You want to have T.O.'s baby so bad.
Look, I can't help the man produce.
So you didn't say no to that. So I was even something wrong with you. Okay, but yeah, Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver ever to done it.
And who taught T.O.?
Obviously, you paid attention. So
number two,
he could be a number two.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he.
I mean, I like it. I think we should stick with facts. Facts show that if you go
back to Randy Moss.
Number three. Okay.
Back to Randy Moss.
I'm listening.
One of the greatest receivers in the game that ever played. Had a troubling career.
Right.
In college.
Mm-hmm.
College, definitely in the pros.
Yeah.
Of course, his personal issues throughout his life.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, he had to clean up his image. He pretty much owned everything. He did things what he had to do in order for his legacy to not be so bad. In order for him to get into the Hall of Fame. You know, and these are things that people got to understand. So whoever told him or put it in his heart to do that, by all means, I congratulate them. You know, they should have been in his life from day one. You know, I don't know, it was the wife. I'm not sure, you know, because he said he's a practicing Muslim now. So that could be the case as well, you know. So, you know, maybe his sheikh told him, hey, you know, yeah, you got to get this right, you know. So, I mean, we don't know. But it's a good thing he did that. Like I said, once he owns Boston, then he owns the part about the whole thing with the. Now that makes sense why he didn't get the vaccine, which makes totally sense, you know. But at the same time, you could express that, you know. No, because people and think about it. The NBA, regardless of how we feel, is a public sport. People, regardless of what you may think or what you're about to say, your personal life is not private, it's public, regardless of how you may think about it. No, don't mean they're gonna be in your house eating your food from your fridge, hanging out with you in your real time, but people are gonna know things about you that you're not really gonna put out there, you know. So it's a good thing to know that he is, because it makes sense now, you know. But a lot of people would put out there to be known, so they can't come at him as such as, oh, okay, so it makes sense. So you actually practicing, you know, Islam. It's all about. Because you know, my barber, he is, and he hasn't got the vaccine. So when you come to his barbershop, you must wear a mask. Because like he said, he caught it about 3 months ago, you know. But like I said, in respect for him, you know, we come in, we're not getting a haircut, we wear the mask, you know. When I'm in chat with him, we do that. So I mean, it's very, very understandable, you know. But you know, when you make it sound if it's in a sense, it's more selfish than selfless, you know, people are going to respond to you that way. So, but at the same time, this talk, he could have had his teammates and everyone would have had his back. And that's what you got to keep in mind, because it is, now even though it's an individualized team sport, it is a team sport. You know, you may have had a talk with Kevin Durant and told him, you know what, don't say nothing. But at the same time, you should have to talk with all your teammates, James Harden as well. Think about it. Think about it. Because a lot of times, if you're a team, guess what? You practically family. You know, and it's not necessarily that, hey guys, this is what's going on. This is my situation. This is the way, and who knows and why. If it would have got out, that's fine. But at the same time, at least the team would have been on the know. You know what I mean? You didn't tell, you know, you really didn't tell your team president, to the coach, you didn't tell the owner, you didn't tell nobody at the bar, you didn't tell Jay-Z, man. Big Daddy Kane, somebody in Brooklyn, you know. Little Kim, Little C's.
I mean, we're not going to dispute that part.
Could have gone to Juniors and told them something, you know.
The one thing I will say as far as that is do what you can afford.
Well, he's like, he made over $100 million. Of course he can afford that.
And does he owe anyone?
I know, and not a matter of owing, but this. Look, did he have to say what he said in that article?
No, but he
Okay,
chose to.
he chose to.
Right.
So in a sense, he felt he owed an explanation to who?
No, he wanted to express that.
Why? Because he felt he owed it to who?
I guess to his fans.
To his fans, the people,
Right.
and himself, to get something off of his chest that he felt bad about. Because and not to say that he made bad decisions. It's just he just made a bad choice, and these are the consequences of which because it looks as if he's a bad teammate, and he's not. Hold on, I said, look, I didn't say
No.
he is.
No. No, I'm not going to say that, but it's funny. He wasn't the only athlete that did not get the shot.
See, now you're focusing on the wrong thing.
No. I'm about.
Well, go ahead. Okay, all right.
There was a lot of white athletes that didn't get it, and they did not demonize those white athletes.
I understand that, but nobody really demonized.
Yes,
nobody demonized.
No, they really went after.
Who demonized?
Come on out.
Who demonized?
Stephen A. Smith. All
you gonna count Stephen A. Smith?
He is a
person.
Hey man,
he sleeps with his coworkers' wives and girlfriends, so I wouldn't even count him. He might be trying. He might shoot. He might be trying to sleep with what I'm saying? Our girlfriends and wives at the moment. We don't even know it. He should be trying to pull Drakes on people. DOD
I hope
and shit.
It's not true.
You know what I'm saying?
I really like that. I think
he just wakes up mad and points at somebody and accuses them of demonize everybody.
No, I get that, but I just think that Kyrie took a bigot. And like I said,
he did, but at the same time, I mean, if you just, hey, this is my answer and close, just shut yourself off with no kind of, but then you say things like, oh, well, I'm doing this for those that can't defend themselves or who can't, but dog. No. You got money in the bank.
Yeah. I mean,
you start saying stuff like that, it's kind of like you're not saying a consistent message. It's like, okay, so what is Kyrie? It's like, what's going on? So
Kyrie is like a person who just found Christianity for the first time and want to please someone. And that's what he's going through. And at first, I was very critical of him until I started realizing that's what it is. He found something that he wants to please. He wants to please his religion. He wants to please Black people because prior to becoming a Muslim, he was on a Native American tour.
Oh, okay, so he's smoking that peyote and stuff too.
I don't know if he was doing that, but he actually he got honorary indoctrinated. I forgot which Native American.
But I'm pretty sure if he looked deeper in his roots, he was already Native American some way.
No. He and that's what they proved.
Right.
But however, I know the truth, which is the only reason why they let him in is because he's Kyrie Irving. He's worth $100 million. So if you let him in, he's going to donate to your cause.
To the tribe.
He's a nigga. I know that. I know Native Americans. They don't like us. We know you don't like us.
Wow, my son.
Am I lying though?
I really don't know. I haven't crossed paths.
How many?
My son, aren't you supposed to be partially Native American? You hate yourself, my son.
I'm always black.
You hate a part of yourself, my son.
I'm always black. Look at that picture of that Black woman right there. I'm black.
We got a part of her head cut off, so I don't know.
That's the artist. Free good. Free my next. I love that picture. But,
hey, you suffocated her in that picture. So I mean, what you got going on? You want to point to the picture over there in the corner too?
That one's dope.
Well, she's barely in the picture in that one over there. So I mean, yeah, but, right. So,
I just what was I saying?
How much you hate the black side of yourself?
No. I really just know how Native Americans are. But
you be beating yourself up because your Native American side, your African American side, be in fight all the time.
Yeah,
I got you.
But he was on the Native American, so he's been trying to find an identity.
Trying to find himself, understandable.
And I think the Muslim religion clicks.
Yeah, and he identifies with, which is understandable.
And so now seeing you're trying to find yourself, and I understand now, and I understand it's hard to try to find yourself in the public eye. And one thing I think we discount is the fact that we put so much pressure on African Americans that look like they made it. We heap on so much pressure on them, and I think Kyrie felt that pressure to have to say something. And sometimes when you feel that pressure to have to say something, you end up saying the wrong thing.
But we got publicists for that, and that's the thing. Regardless of how you may feel about publicists, tell them what this. Because a lot of times, what you do is, hey, these are the things I'm trying to say. This is what I had the idea to say, and hey, either gonna sign off on it or not sign off on it, or structure to where you say it, but you're not totally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's their job.
Yeah,
You know, and that's what he could have. Not just from the team. He could have got his own publicist. Don't he have a foundation or something?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the foundation has a publicist that he could have went to that could have helped him.
No,
But
he probably could. But
at the same time, he sees the thing, but he thought the world was flat.
I mean, we all make those mistakes.
He thought he was the greatest basketball player alive. You know,
I hope he would.
He thought he was better than LeBron James. He's not. He's not. He never will. Even in his peak, he'll never be LeBron or in his.
But I mean,
so,
but I don't
okay.
just. I mean,
Okay.
he should think these things.
He's not.
Would you?
First of all, he went to Duke. He maybe played about 2 games on the team.
Okay.
Second of all, he went to Duke.
So let me ask you a question.
Third of all, he played for Coach K at Duke.
Do you think that any basketball players on the team that the person's like that person's better than me? No.
Yes.
No.
All them. You seriously? So you gonna tell me your name is what's my man? Not Matt Scalabrini, Brian Scalabrini. You on the White Mamba? You on the bench with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, The Truth, Rondo.
You know what all them say about him?
What they say about him?
That he can ball.
Of course, he's in the NBA.
No, they say no. He really can ball, and he did used to he used to go around busting people.
I think one of them. I think Kyrie was in one of them videos too.
No,
I think he busted Kyrie's ass.
He used to go around because people used to be like, oh, he was a running joke, so he actually was going.
All NBA players can ball,
but that's my point.
But
that's what I'm saying. So they're not.
But
he don't think they can start.
But there's no way. But there's no way you think he's better than the KG.
In his mind. There's nothing.
And guess what? He kept them thoughts in his head. I'm sure he didn't say that to them. I'm pretty sure he can ball, but not enough to beat them.
You want somebody that be on your team that think they're better than you, or you want somebody on your team who think that they're less than you? I will always want somebody on my team who thinks they're better than me because I know that they're gonna work hard.
Okay.
That's
you know what? You can win that one. You got that one. You know what? You sure enough. Well, you gonna go back and forth on something you keep trying to be angled. No, dog. Go ahead. You win that one. Brian Scalabrini ball means I can beat you. My Sean can beat you. All right, you can beat him too.
Nah, if we knock on this door, and all of a sudden,
hey, let's get it in. Let's play.
And he's like, yo,
balls up.
Yeah.
Oh,
he might do it too. He might.
He's welcome to come to Charleston. He welcome to go to Charleston. We go play at Hampton Park. Let's go.
So let's talk about Antonio Brown because he's in the same predicament as Kyrie. They in the talkative state.
Okay.
Of course, him and Kanye West has this thing that thinks that racism don't exist.
Just like slavery is a choice. Right. Got you. Okay.
And then he thinks that Colin Kaepernick hasn't done nothing. And
I read that article. Finish what you're saying. I want to comment on that first, though.
No, go ahead.
First of all, and these are things I get tired of what we do to each other. Like you said, what we do to each other. You shouldn't. No, I'm not sitting there. Hey, y'all, look at me. I'm feeding this homeless person. Look, I'm putting a cheeseburger in his mouth. No, all that. No, see, and that's the issue I'm having. Like, no.
That people do that.
People do that. Like, people do that, and then people that don't do that. Everything, yeah. It's like, stop. Hold on, dog. Because either you're doing it out the kindness of your heart when you do that, or I don't mind somebody just so happens to catch you feed a homeless person a cheeseburger. That's a different thing.
You should be the one holding the camera doing it.
Right. And that's the thing we always looking for. We want to see somebody holding the camera watching you feed the cheeseburger to the homeless person.
Right.
And that's where we always go wrong.
I agree with you.
You know?
I do agree with that.
Just like, for instance, like you said with Kwame Brown and the shoes thing. He says he does it, Ballman. He says he brags about ball, but at the same time, I don't want to be this thing that be taking you giving out shoes.
Right.
You know, regardless, that's what he says he does. What he says he does.
Does he still exist?
How about say that to him on the camera? Kwame Brown, do you still exist?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. Have you?
Look, dog, let's finish this day. We gonna talk about 15 minutes about whether he does exist or not. But to me, fellow black man, he exists.
No. I appreciate him.
But yeah, so and that's the thing I always get tired of is this: we gotta see somebody do the like. We gotta see who's in charge. Like we gotta see, who. Come on, man. Like
it's that black man curse, man. I'm telling you, man.
But
it's an evil seed that's been planted in us.
We have been conditioned to do that way, but like I said, we've got to get out of that.
No, I agree.
These are things we got to continue to work on. It's like these are things we can't instill in our. Okay. Like for instance, you actually want to see your kids do your homework, right? Mm-hmm. Other than we trust them, can we just trust them? Give them the benefit of a doubt.
You know what? I will say this: you have the benefit of the doubt until otherwise proven.
See, exactly.
So I'll say that.
See,
that's
exactly.
Personal experience.
Exactly.
You give them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. And see, so saying right to it. You see the report or progress report. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why can't it be the same way?
Okay. No, I agree with
you. And that's the thing about it. Why should Colin Kaepernick be broadcasting every time he does something for kid with his program does? Because a lot of programs are not set up to be out front. They work the scene behind the scenes. Just like in the civil rights movements, a lot of singers, a lot of performers, a lot of politicians, even though they had to put up a front of, at the same time they were backdooring the system and supporting the civil rights movement.
Yeah, that's true.
And people don't understand that. Even though always outright see what's going on out front.
I agree with you, and you're absolutely right. We shouldn't have to. And for the record, as I do honestly respect Kwame Brown, and I respect what he has done.
Whatever.
I honestly do. All jokes aside, I know.
That's good to hear, my son.
I do. As black men, I think we need to respect what people have done, and even though we harp on their mistakes, we should always appreciate them for their successes, and he has been a success in his life to achieve his goal. So that would be wrong for me to say that. However, I would say this about Antonio Brown.
So my thing is, no, but say what you need to say first.
With him,
what have he done? That's what I want to know.
That's where I'm at.
You heard about what?
I'm like you. That's always been my issue. That's why we had that talk, and you was like, "Well, Kwame Brown ain't got to say." I was like, "Well, for me, I don't care what you do, but when you start knocking other people,
that's the thing. It's exactly. And that's the thing I'm talking about. What have you done?
He don't.
Because they're like, "Hey, Colin Kaepernick, you did it, but this is what my foundations did."
Right.
Hey, Kwame Brown. Hey, Kaepernick. Hey, this is what my people do. What are y'all doing in the neighborhood?
No, you're absolutely right. But the one part I didn't like that he said, and this has been a knock, is that he's like, Colin Kaepernick is not from the hood. And yeah, he said that too.
I remember him saying that.
Why is that always a knock on black men who do not commit crimes?
You know what that is? It's a few because just because where he is from, he feels that gives him that card, that hood card. Which is hard to say, the hood card,
right.
Saying that, oh yeah, this I automatically get my ghetto pass. I always got it. Hey, everybody can say I'm from here. I come here all the time. I be hanging out. I be doing, that's cool. I still, give back to the hood. It's all fine and dandy.
Back to the hood.
But dog, the last 6 years of your career, you played on almost 3 to 4 teams, right?
And squandered $30 million.
Actually, it was more than that. Remember?
Yes,
it was actually more than that. He squandered.
Who the hell squanders?
The same guy that called Kaepernick a sellout. That's not from the hood. But you know what? That's what hood shit. That's hood shit people do. You squander away your opportunity to benefit who? Anybody outside yourself.
I think that's a great topic. How black men screw themselves out of opportunities trying to keep it real.
We that could be right. We do that another time. We can do that tomorrow.
I
Matter of fact, if you want.
Yes,
Because this is what we do. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, dog. Like, come on, man. You may have been in talks to be one of the greatest ever, but it's like, okay, to play the game possibly.
Now you're on Twitter beefing with Keisha Cole.
He's not beef with Keisha Cole. They supposed to be. They all booed up. She supposed to got even a tattoo on the back. You know, tattoo is his initials. You know,
look,
they did a song together on this album.
I'm about to say a really sexist thing, and it's gonna sound messed up. Little girls got multiple guys tattooed on them.
Okay.
They're a walking billboard.
See me, Jeezy got tattooed in there too. Of course, Booby got one. Got married.
Honestly, I believe it too.
Gucci man too. That's why they really beefing.
She walk by there. What like it what was it? Not a scary movie, but one of them it was one of the movies. Meet the Spartans, where he had slept with a girl, and then when she got out of bed on the right or like right side, it had all of the Los Angeles Raiders names on her side.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, something like that, man. It's the things we've done. You know, we put ourselves in these predicaments, and the crazy thing I think is more he's upset that there's a possibility people are considering taking them on and putting them back in the game.
Which is actually honestly looking like it may actually
right.
happen.
And nobody
actually came out and said
right. And nobody's talking about him. Talking about maybe how stupid he is. Dog, all you do is go ahead and get your leg. Was his leg fixed?
Mm-hmm. His ankle.
I'm
not saying he wasn't hurt. You know, I'm one of football players. You know.
Pretty much. All he do get fixed, period, and then he probably would have got. But he's waiting till the team signs him supposedly.
If Odell Beckham, who by the way was in the Super Bowl, who probably would have been Super Bowl MVP if he didn't blow his knee out, he was on his way. But I tell people that they'd be like, no, he was going. He would have ended up with over 150 yards. Like he was on pace. He had already caught 2 touchdowns. I mean, and he ain't signed yet. Who gonna sign Antonio Brown?
Right.
Who walked off the field like this? Because us as black men, we like to get naked in front of people. I don't know why. It's just a black man curse. So, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals was last night.
I missed it, man. I really wanted to watch the game. Throwback series.
Jimmy Butler, to me,
Jimmy Buckets,
is the superstar that other superstars have on their wall. Like, he's the poster of it.
Right.
And, they were talking about it earlier today. It was like, they don't give him his respect. And I was like, well, if you really think about it, every team he's been on has been a playoff team. Like, when he went in Chicago, playoff team. When he was in Philly, playoff team.
Minnesota
playoff team. He left Philly and Minnesota because he said they were weak. And what have they done since then? Nothing.
Well, Philadelphia's still in the playoffs, though.
They had to get rid of Ben Simmons.
They were still going to be in the playoffs with or without Ben Simmons.
But the thing is that was the beef. He was like, Ben Simmons was weak. He's called it then. I'm not saying Ben Simmons.
They picked Ben Simmons over him, which I think was an awful mistake.
And then in Minnesota, he got on Cat. He's like, you too big to be out here. And what has Cat done? So Jimmy, he's one of those superstars that he expects a lot from the people who were drafted number 1.
Yeah, the people that actually, they was just the door just opened out of man from. You think where he came from? I don't think he was drafted, was he? I don't remember.
Was he second?
I think he might have been. I don't think it was a first round pick though. Either way,
no, he wasn't.
He had to work to where he's at now. He put in a lot of work,
right?
And people don't understand. And I think people don't, especially stars, the ones that come in automatically with the red carpet laid out. People like him had to work to get to the position where they get the red carpet rolled out to when they walk up to these arenas. for people to, it's like, come on, think about who he got the team he joined in the Chicago. He's on team with.
Yeah, he had Dwayne Wade, and then
No, not the way. What you talking about in Chicago?
Yeah,
he got picked up.
He had Dwayne Wade once in Chicago. When Dwayne Wade was on his farewell tour before he went back to Miami, he was in Chicago. Well, before he went to Cleveland, he was in Chicago.
But by that time, he was already on another team. Jimmy was on another team by the time.
Yeah, they both got shipped out.
So, no, let's not talk about in the beginning when he first came on. Think about it.
Oh, Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose.
A young Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah,
Yeah.
Taj Gibson.
That's actually a good Bulls team. No, I don't think you realize that.
I want to say we'll just put Carlos Boozer in there because they were definitely overpaying his ass.
He was a 2010 guy. But no, he actually was a 2010 guy. Chicago was actually one outside of Utah. That was actually one of his best years. He was a 2010 guy.
Okay, either way. So either way, like I said, it was like
Lou Aldin was on that team. Lou Aldin was a 20 and 5 guy. Actually, Lou Aldin was pretty good in his NBA career until he went to Los Angeles. I think they're still paying him in Los Angeles too.
Yeah, they're still paying him. They're still paying Bobby Bonilla, shoot. And Allen Iverson. Well, Reebok's paying Allen Iverson.
Was a smart deal. People like, Allen Iverson broke. Nah, can't go broke.
So
and shout out to Reebok for actually really getting behind Iverson and pushing those Iversons back out.
But yeah, excuse me. But yeah, man. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, like I said, he works to where he's at now. I wish him all luck. Wins the championship, I won't be surprised.
You think so?
I think he will.
You think they could get past Boston?
Yes. Boston don't have enough.
I think Jaylen Brown is the X factor for ball. I know everybody's like,
No.
Jaylen Brown, because he's an interesting scorer. Because he doesn't wow you when he scores, but he can score. Tatum's gonna be Tatum. Like game one is not gonna happen. Like Tatum's gonna score over 30 in this series. I believe that.
Okay.
I think the Heat will win the series because I think the first game having 41 points is a statement.
Of course.
And sometimes that's a statement. Let's say this. When LeBron scored that 50 points, and if they would have won the game, that would have been a great. I think they would have won the series. The only time that remember back in 2000 and was it 2004? 2004. Was it? No, 2003.
What are you talking about?
No, it was 2001 when the Lakers and Philadelphia played in the finals. I think it was 2001.
Yeah, I think so.
Allen Iverson had the best game I think he had ever played in his pro career. That game one when they stole that game.
Yeah.
He did so well that Kobe Bryant had to change his whole philosophy to actually come after him because he had made such a statement that he changed everything. His whole game just to make sure that Allen Iverson could not do that again. And it worked.
Right.
But Kobe's one of those players that can do that. I don't think Boston has a player that.
No, he don't.
It. Like Jimmy said, like when Jimmy hit that 40-point mark in game one, I think he stole Boston's heart. However, I do think Boston has enough to make. I think it's gonna go 7.
Think go 7?
I honestly do.
Hey, Kyrie, you want to come play, Kyrie? We have a roster spot for you.
Wait, what? You know what though? If Kyrie becomes a free agent, maybe he does end up in Miami next year. We don't know. Miami has a way of rehabilitating players now. And you know what? They do have a great farm system.
And they don't understand the same thing LeBron understand. It's their show.
Yeah. It's Pat Riley show.
Pat Riley show.
Right.
Put the rings on the table. Man, look, got these rings. Player, coach, and exec.
Trifecta. I don't credit. I mean, Phil Jackson couldn't do it. But he did. So does that make him a better all-around coach than Phil Jackson?
A better basketball mind.
Okay.
If you think about the triangle offense, it wasn't his thing. It was
Like
Tex
Tex
Winters.
Man,
He just knew how to expose it.
okay. I
So,
got that.
right.
The greatest basketball mind that never was, Tex Winter.
Right.
Sad.
Right.
Going to take in the West. Think Luka, or is it going to be Steph?
If you want to see a competitive NBA final, you'd want the Warriors to be there. You want the Warriors to be there. Because either way, if they play...
Is this white boy hate?
No. No. Now, if Luka would have carried him to the NBA finals, if he would have... Huh? Exactly. That's the thing, because he don't have enough. It's just him.
Yeah, he'll run out of gas.
They're number two. Like, this is him, and this is like the number two person on their team.
I think he's going to run out of gas.
Yeah. You think about it. Yeah. You think about it. He don't have enough. So if he plays Miami or if he plays Boston, they're going to run him off the court.
Yeah.
They might win a game.
So do you think the Warriors
will put up a better fight?
I think they'll go 5.
They put up a better fight. Yeah, they go 5. I mean,
go 5.
I'd be surprised if they go 6. But the thing is, with Luka, he has a very good game. He's like I said, he's not the fastest player. He's not the quickest, but he's pretty quick for his size. He's very skilled. LeBron, I can say, but he's not LeBron. So, like, LeBron is just like, I don't know, the ultimate, big, strong, fast, quick, extremely strong basketball IQ. So,
sound like you love LeBron.
Yeah, I take LeBron on my team.
That's good. Because I would too.
LeBron on my team, you should.
But so let's preview next season, real quick, as we wind it down. So let's say he win. Do you think that changed the landscape of the NBA, seeing how they won?
It does. It does. Because you know what it's going to do? It's going to make people see him and his come up. And it's going to make people train better. It's going to make teams scout better. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives everybody a level playing field. Because you think about a lot of times, the first thing you want to do is take the most mentioned person, most popular person out there, the best player in the AAU.
Right.
They're already projecting him to be the number 1 draft pick, and he ain't gone to graduate high school yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a one and done. Well, he's little boys in middle school. How you mean he's gonna be a one and done? He can go 1 year in high school, then go play pro basketball.
Yeah, that would be dope. LeVar Ball.
Right.
LeVar Ball.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
So
be dope.
like I said, the talent is there. The man had the determination to make sure that he was gonna be overlooked, that people knew who he was. And by all means, congratulations, he's done it. By all means, I wish him well. Like I said, it's going to be a good series.
I do. I agree with you. I think it changes. I think right now, if you look at all the teams that are left, and Dallas started doing this, and I don't think people really realize Dallas started saying we want team-oriented players, and they started doing this. Warriors were built.
They were built that way.
Miami is built. Except for Jimmy and Kyle Lowry, the rest of them are actually homegrown, drafted, or free, undrafted that they brought into their system. In Boston, it's scary to realize is Tatum and Brown been together for almost 4 years now, and they've been consistently in the playoffs since they've been together, consistently.
Man.
So you have 4 teams.
Right.
That's been together at least 3 years.
Right.
That says a lot. We all forget this, but Jimmy Butler was in the finals about a year and a half ago.
At the bubble, yes, he was.
So it's when we look at it, it's like, man, what does it say about the Lakers? Because the Lakers gave up a lot of young talent for Anthony Davis. And they're them in Brooklyn are in this. We only have 3 players under contract. Because I think Brooklyn's the same way. They only have maybe 1 or 2 players under contract. So
Right.
now you're looking at like, do you go the route of rebuilding like you did before?
That's right. Kyrie, call Los Angeles and tell them.
What if? What
But what would KD want to play with Russ?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I don't discount the Oklahoma City days.
Okay, I don't either.
I think Russ is
Better what?
He's not a better point guard.
Oh.
However, he's a better team player, and it's weird because triple doubles are not easy. So you have to have some team oriented goal to get a triple double.
Right.
So I'm giving that. The biggest issue with Westbrook is the fact that it's LeBron James. If it was just him and Anthony Davis, I think they would be they'd be 50 win team because I think those two can work. But LeBron James is.
You heard it here. Marshawn said it. The Nets gonna trade for Westbrook, and they're gonna trade Kyrie.
Nah, they're not gonna make that trade. But I wouldn't be surprised. That would be a pretty dope trade. I just think right now has the window closed for Kyrie,
No.
Kevin Durant, LeBron James. I mean,
No.
Dame Lillard,
No.
Bradley Beal.
No.
I mean,
No. Bradley Beal, yeah.
CP3.
His is coming to an end.
Because these teams that are in right now, they're young.
Oh yeah.
They're young.
But basketball has always been a young man's game. You know, you look at it because you think about it when LeBron came in, who was on the back end of their careers. Think about it. Kobe was on the back end of his prime, even though he won 2, but he still was on the back end of his prime.
Right.
Shaq, yeah, pretty much. And those people you looked up to, Shaq, yeah, and Iverson, yeah, they was on the back end of their career, pretty much. Yeah, more or less, you can say that. We'll just, keep it at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's like that. That's how the cycle works. It's how it's supposed to work. You think about it. When Jordan came in, Magic was on the back end of his prime. Bird was definitely on the back end of his prime. When
Bird was out his prime when he got his back.
Yeah, so I mean,
right.
And the same thing you look at, yeah, it's just like that. So you want it to be like that because once you think about how the short period Michael Jordan was gone, that's how big of a gap there was in talent, and you know what I'm saying? It was, you could tell. Everybody was really trying to fill that big void, and then when he came back in the game, it's just like he, oh man, we could watch basketball. We could watch the NBA again.
But by the way, those were some of the most exciting games when he was out. Those were some.
So I mean, it's going to be like that. So like I said, LeBron is on the back end of his prime as well. For some reason, he can still put out as if it's put a lot more on it, more taxes on the body. But I mean, still he can still produce. So I mean, and I think now players, if they want to, they can condition themselves to be more durable. Which
they know more now.
I wish your boy, James Harden would, lead them strip clubs alone, Shoot. Yeah.
Curse of the Kardashian.
The time he needs to make it rain is making rain jumpers in the gym. But I mean, hey, so overall, I think, like I said, it's going to change the game. I mean, it's going to cycle back to where it's actually a team sport, and I mean, like you said, team-oriented play, more passes, more passing is involved to get the pace of the offense instead of a pass, shoot, or pass, dribble, shoot, or shoot, rebound, pass back out, 2-3, shoot it again, pass back out. No, come on, man. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, well, that's all we have tonight, folks. We will be back tomorrow.
Sure, we can do tomorrow. You
And
know,
we'll have another exciting show. Got anything you want to add?
no, man. Damn, you know, I left my thing yesterday because I want to start doing something different in the end. But you know, I hope y'all watched the previous recording and got a little something out of it. I thank you for watching. You know,
Matrix.
The Matrix, baby. Yeah, that was a very interesting recording. As you see, we got no issues today. So we went up and talked. We was talking something that made sense. So now I think it's cool. Something little, you know, we kind of, you know, even it out today. So they let it slide in, try to, you know, but by all means, we look forward to doing this again tomorrow.
Yes, definitely. Check us out on all our platforms. And remember, you're great, you're wonderful, but we're better. Be blessed.